Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. I am Mackie.
I'm Sid.
Today we're going to give you guys a quick look at Sid's bike that she raced for Downieville. People have asked us, like, how much do we change for different races? And to be honest, we don't generally change stuff a whole lot because most of our races are enduro races. So like, we'll change tires depending on the terrain, occasionally change some settings on our suspension, but we're not really changing a lot. But for this race, because it was a cross country the first day and a downhill the second day, we did some pretty significant changes on Sid's bike. So tell us about the changes.
Yeah, so for starters, this is the Jamis Portal 29er. It is a prototype, that's why there aren't any logos. The changes that I made to this bike were mainly with the goal of getting the weight down, having a shock that I could lock out, and having a bottle cage. So first up, biggest change is put an air shock on this puppy. This is the Xfusion O2 Pro RLX. It's lighter, doesn't have a piggyback. Also means that I can fit a bottle cage in here, which was a priority for me because I wanted to be able to have some hydration mix for this race. Usually bottle cages, not that big of a deal because enduro racing,
You carry a pack.
yeah, you probably are carrying a pack anyway, like you just don't need a bottle cage.
If you haven't watched our hydration video, you should do so.
Yeah, so
We'll
this
have a
race
card.
is hot and long and an XC race. So having that hydration program a little figured out, a little bit more dialed than I usually do was a priority. So wanted the bottle cage, wanted to lighten it up a little bit. This also, the coil shocks we've been running do not have a lockout. This one does, which is fantastic when you are climbing on a road forever. These bikes pedal incredibly well. So like for normal conditions, you don't really need a lockout. However, when you're on a road forever, might as well lock it out. It does really stiffen things up, makes it feel more like a hardtail for the road portion. So for this race, I actually kept a similar tire setup, partially because that's just what we have, and also partially because I do really feel like tires really change how comfortable I am on the bike, and I love the double Martello setup. Like it's amazing in the corners. If you want to try out these tires, we have a discount code that is available for a few more weeks, I think, so we will put that in the comments. In hindsight, I think probably a lower profile rear tire, just to have a little bit less rolling resistance, would probably be worth the sacrifice of not being able to drop all the corners as much as I like doing. I also took the airliners out. A lot of you have seen our video of the Vittoria airliners. It's a rim protection system. There will be a link up there to that video. They're awesome. I love them. But for this course with a trail ply tire, not necessary. And whenever you can take out rotational weight, that really changes the weight of rotational weight is bad.
When you can change the rotational weight, you can change the rotational weight.
So this tire is Vittoria's trail casing, so that's 1.5 ply. They also make a dual ply. I had the option of running the dual ply. Again, that's a little heavier. This 1.5 ply I think is a good compromise for a race like Downieville, because there are definitely the potential of flats. Very rocky. However, you're also climbing a lot, so putting on a full-on downhill tire is like you pay for that on the way up. So
I don't know how many people you saw with flats, but I saw a lot of people with flats.
Yeah, there were a lot of people with flat tires. The last time I raced this race in 2014, I got a flat. So I really didn't want to get a flat, so I did the 1.5 ply, and I also bumped up my tire pressure a little bit more than what I usually run. I was running 28 in the rear and 20 in the front, whereas usually I'll go 19 in the front and low as 25 in the rear if I'm running the airliners, have a dual ply tire. So pretty much those are the changes I made to this bike. Pretty minimal. Overall, pretty stoked with this bike, with the fact that you can go from, you know, having with a coil shock on this and like heavier tires, like full on enduro bike, to, you know, pretty passable XC bike for an XC race like Downieville. You wouldn't want to take it to like a, you know, Pro XCT or something, or Leadville, something where you should be on a hardtail. It's not a hardtail, but it's an awesome little bike. For future Downievilles, if we come back to this race next year, I might go even lighter on the setup, partially because I kind of forgot how pedally the Downieville downhill is. And this setup is a little more inclined towards the downhill aspect. But overall, awesome bike for this course. I think ultimately with a race like Downieville, you have to make a decision about whether you want to prioritize your strengths and have a bike that descends really well, which is what I did, or, you know, try to accommodate your weaknesses. Like if you're a weak descender, like ride a bigger bike. If you're a weak climber, ride the lightest bike that you can. Kind of a crapshoot, really. You see people get it wrong all the time. Too light of a bike often results in mechanicals or crashes. So yeah, it's a race that is all about balance, and that's why it's fun and a good challenge. So as always, I hope this was helpful. Thank you for watching our channel, and
don't forget to be more awesome.
Missed your cue, but it's okay.
I missed my cue.
Thought we had this dialed.